What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be Families of the Mafia season 1 episode, oh my goodness, episode 5. Listen, the first half of this episode, oh my gosh, I was so here for it. Let me start at the beginning. So the ladies are playing bocce ball. Now, bocce ball is a sport that's really big in the Italian culture. We actually have a bocce ball team at my high school, and they actually are like on the state level competitive and like win state championships and stuff like that. And so I still don't know a whole lot about bocce ball, but we got a team at my school. Anyway, so they said that was a big thing in the Italian culture, that they remember their fathers having bocce ball nights and tournaments and stuff like that. And so they were playing. None of them were any good, child. It was more for nostalgia than anything else. Like when you go to the bowling alley with your friends, child. Whoever get a strike, get a strike. Other than that, we're just here for the drinks and the good time. You know what I'm saying? Let the good times roll, child. I think I might have me, when this Rona thing is over, I think I might have me a good old bowling party, honey. Just invite all my friends down to the okay. Come back to the middle. So Corinna was telling the ladies about what happened that night with Paulie, and how her and Paulie are over and they're taking a break and he's just doing too much. And you hear in Karen's voice look, he has gone too far. I'm just not here for it. Like, I really be trying to get this little boy the benefit of the doubt, because I grew up with him and I know he really is not a bad, quote unquote, bad kid. But at the same time, so then we saw Demi and her mom were there with them, and they were talking about the situation with her father. And Karen was saying, listen, I feel like you're at a point in your life where you need to close that chapter or open it up one way or the other. Like, you really need to sit down and have a conversation with your dad. Now, let me say this. I love Denny. I loved her in that first show that only lasted, y'all told me they canceled it after a couple of episodes because the right people got on the phone with the right people. And okay. But let me tell you guys how much I absolutely love where Demi is. Demi is like, listen, at this point, I want to have a conversation with him, but it's going to be adult to adult. I'm not a child anymore. He's not going to talk to me like I'm a child. He's not going to treat me like a child. But at this point in time, there is nothing this man can say to me, because there is no excuse for you not to take care of your family. Like, I don't get it. Like, you can have a bad relationship with the mom, but for you, there is no justification for you to tap out on your kids. And so I just respect where she's coming from. She's like, I'm not looking for a father, but I do need to have a conversation. And she said that she is still in touch with an aunt who has stayed in her life, even though the father didn't really want the family to have contact. There's really something deeper to this story, and I don't know what it is. I mean, he might just be a no good dude, right? But there's a part of me that feels like there is a story there, and there's a reason why not only did he fall off the map, but he asked his family to no longer connect with them. I don't know if he was threatened. Like, I sort of tapped into it on last week's review. Y'all gonna have to go back and see what it said, because I ain't gonna repeat it. You know, I don't want to be swimming with the fishes. But I really feel like maybe he was threatened. I feel like maybe it was something bigger going on there. And again, I still don't, I'm not making no justification, because at the end of the day, stand in your shit. If that's your child, that's your child. And whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm not making no justifications or defense of it. Please understand that. Please. But I respect so much. And now let me say this about the aunt. I respect the aunt, because for the aunt to say, you know what? Whatever happened between these adults, that is their business. That is still my niece, and I'm still going to be a part of her life. And I'm still going to make sure that she knows me and I know her. And for as much as I can, I'm going to help her know who her family is. And I respect the hell out of that as well. Later on in the episode, we see Denny sit down and have a conversation with her. And she told her, she said, listen, I'm not even in touch with your father anymore. Like, the last time I talked to your dad was when your grandmother died. I offered to buy him. She said, I don't even remember how I got his number. She said, I offered to buy him a plane ticket so he can get here. He told me that would be too much money and that he would call me later. And I never heard from him again. And she was like, you know, I don't know where he is. She said, and so I'm sure whatever number she had probably ain't no good anymore. And that makes me feel like he's not on any type of social media, which, contrary to popular belief, there are a lot of people who are not. aka my mama, my daddy. My mama just got on Facebook, and that's only because of what the Rona shut down. Her church is having service on Facebook Live, and she didn't know how to get on it, child. She don't know nothing about Facebook. But anyway, so contrary to popular belief, there's a lot of people that don't use social media. So I respect the aunt for, and she even said when Denny first got there, she said, I thought you forgot about me. She said I'm so proud of you. I saw you graduate. And she said, but y'all didn't even invite me. And I felt in the moment that she was, and Denny tried to sort of, she said, oh no, I would never forget about you. But I think it kind of went over her head. Like, that woman, she was a little hurt. But I can definitely tell that they have a relationship, that they know each other. It's not no, I haven't seen you since I was 10 years old kind of thing. Like, they definitely have a relationship where they know each other. So anyway, but she didn't have any connection. She said she would try and look out, and she would let her know. But right now, she said she didn't have anything. So back to the ladies. They're on their way to a night out, hunty, and next thing you know, we see them getting ready, makeup, outfits. They all going to hang out. Next thing you know, we hear a 911 call with Corrine on the phone calling 911 because she had been in a car accident. And thank God everybody was okay. The car got totaled, but they're okay. So the next thing we see is Corrine in bed with Paulie. She said that she called him and he immediately showed up at the hospital and he was there for her. And so I guess that translates into we back together. And in my mind, I was thinking, Karen. Now, I know she's grown, and I'm sure we know that's not the first time he done been in her bedroom and all that good stuff. Me personally, that ain't how I roll, but I ain't judging Karen, okay? But at the end of the day, you just got finished saying how you wasn't with this dude coming up in here and he gone too far and all of that. Like, you just said that. And so now I feel like he come downstairs, and I mean, they speaking to him like he's supposed to be there, and he starts cooking breakfast. So Demi walks in, honey, and she immediately does a like, what's he doing here? Because of course the night before it was, I'm single, I'm this, I'm that. And so basically he showed up, he's saying all the right things, even though they're not together, they're still friends. And there's that. Now they're doing a friends trip up to the Poconos. They had talked about that at Bocce night, that they should get away, get off the island, go have some. And at that moment, it wasn't supposed to include Paulie. Paulie wasn't supposed to be included in that because it was a let's get away situation. So now Paulie's going, but they're still not a couple. All right, we're going to get back to that. Mind you, Karen is sort of over it, but I think her thing is, listen, he was here for us. He was there for her. I'm not happy. I mean, she let them know, listen, you went too far. I really have a problem with the whole jealousy thing. I feel like you're doing a little too much, but you grown, but I got my eye on you. So I don't know. It wouldn't be my child. That's all I'm going to say. He all in her house, sitting on her damn kitchen counter, cussing and shit. No, ma'am, no, Pam. You don't get to do that. Listen, at the end of the day, I just feel like there still need to be some boundaries drawn. And see, in my house, certain things just wouldn't be going down in my house. But either way, Karen put them on notice, told Corrine she wasn't feeling it. She didn't like it. They need to be drawing something. She was like, he got some issues, and this is a toxic relationship, and I don't support it, and I ain't here for it. Now let's talk a little bit about them O'Tools, honey. Let's get to the O'Tools. Taylor meets up with her dad to basically found out what happened the other day. Like, why did you blow? Like, what happened? Now, let me say this. I think I might owe Daddy Billy a little bit of an apology, just this much of an apology. Because when they rolled the tape back and he explained what he got upset about, he got upset about the boyfriend basically telling him he wasn't an ain't shit dad. Now, my thing is this. I can talk about my daddy, but you can't talk about my daddy. And he was there to meet you for the first time. Y'all don't know each other. Y'all are trying to build some type of rapport. I do feel like that was out of line for that little boy to say to his girlfriend's father. However you might feel, that's a conversation that maybe y'all can have when y'all get further down the line and y'all have built some sort of rapport that you can talk to him, because what you don't know is his story. You know her story. You know the mama's story. You don't know his story. And I'm not saying he was a good dad, because it doesn't sound like he was a great dad, but you don't know his story. And I do feel like that might have been a little bit out of line. When they rolled that tape back and they played back what that boy said, I was like, oh, now I do understand why you got pissed off. It would have pissed me off too. So, Daddy Billy, I apologize. I apologize because from the way I saw it last week, and you know, I miss stuff. I'm not perfect, y'all. Y'all know I'll fuck up a name. So, just the way I saw it last week, I felt like the daddy was out of line. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, maybe the boyfriend was a little out of line. They still might not be showing me the whole conversation, but from the clip they showed, you was doing a little bit much. But anyway, Daddy Billy and Taylor, they were having a conversation, and you know, I feel bad for Billy because I feel like Billy wants a do-over. I feel like he wants a do-over, and you can't. Like, there was a conversation with him and his ex-wife. She has a new boyfriend. They're still in the early stages, and we saw a really cute scene with them out to dinner and her telling them about her kids and stuff. And she was real honest about her kids. She said, listen, it's 3 of them. Got the oldest one, he good, he cool. Then I got the twins, honey. And both of them, she said Joe was a handful. Boyfriend was like, define handful. She said, listen, he done been in some trouble. He got a really bad temper. She said, but you know, I love him. He mine. We working on it. She said, Taylor used to get in a lot of trouble, but I think this last little situation she was in kind of scared her straight, and she's doing pretty good, you know. And he was like, listen, I'm here for it. I want to meet him. I want to see how it's going. You know, I'm here for it. And so we see her telling Billy later on she got a new man or whatever, and Billy talking about some, well, I mean, do you really feel like you need to be having estrangement around our kids? She was like, they are grown. And in that moment, I realized, I said, he wants a do-over, and he doesn't understand. He has missed all of that. You have missed all those milestones. You have missed those moments of questioning who she's dating, because the person she's dating may or may not be a good person to be around your kids. Your youngest child is in their 20s. What? She don't have to worry about what? Boo, sir. And so I feel bad for him because I really feel like he wants a do-over. He realizes that he fucked up and he wants a way to fix it. And you can't. You can't. I'm sorry. I hope they find a way to coexist in the new reality. Like, they get it. I need him to catch up and get it. But it seems like both of your children are willing to allow you to be a father where they are now. Like, Taylor opening up to you and even letting you meet her boyfriend. Like, I feel like it's a huge step. And again, the fact that she met with him afterwards so that he had an opportunity to explain, I think again shows her willingness to want to work this out, you know. So anyway, with that being said, child, with that being said, we're gonna see how them O'Tools go. Now let's get to the LaRoches. Y'all know I always say LaRoches, Chris's family, child. So Chris's mom, she went and got a copy of all her charges, went back to the lawyer because in order for her to get her case sealed or dropped, whatever the legal term is, and I know y'all gonna put it in the damn comments and tell me, but she can't have more than one felony conviction. She can have as many misdemeanors as she wants, but she can't have more than one felony for her to be eligible for the to even apply. And applying is no guarantee either. So the lawyer told her, I need you to go get a copy of all your charges so we can look at it and see what it was. So he pulled the first charge, and it was a felony. She was like, oh, Lord. Because she had 5 altogether, honey. And 3 had gotten thrown out. So she was down to the 2 charges. Or was it 2 got thrown out? She had 3. It might have been 2 got thrown out. She had 3. The first one he looked at, it was a felony. So she was like, oh, shit. You know, it was like, okay, well, I can't have no more felonies than that. The second one that he looked at, it was a felony, but it had been reduced to a misdemeanor. And she was like, "Whoo, okay, cool." And then the third one was a misdemeanor, if that's how it went down. But either way, she is definitely eligible. And I think the last charge she had was like 10 years ago. She hasn't been in any trouble. She hasn't done anything 10 years ago. And so I definitely respect. Again, the first half of this episode was I was loving it. The women's empowerment, the positivity as far as let's move, like how we're gonna get our life together and move forward. I was loving it. And so I felt really good for her in that moment because, you know, now she's eligible, to apply. And the lawyer said she has a really good chance of getting approved. And what I loved is that she immediately started thinking of what she could do. Oh, I want to open up this business. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Now, she did talk about being a madam. Ma'am, that's still illegal in the state of New York. So, ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be a madam, but I'm going to need you to go somewhere where that's legal. I'm going to need you to go down to Reno and open you up a bunny ranch or something. Bunny Ranch Part 2 if you want to be a madam. Now, listen, I'm not here to squash nobody's dreams. If you want to be a madam, what I say is you go be the best damn madam you can be. But do it somewhere where it's legal to be a madam. You see what I'm saying? Where it's legal to be a madam. Okay? It's not legal it's not. Okay. Chris also, I don't know where the camera stopped filming, so I'm just going to keep talking. I don't know. I have no idea what y'all did or did not get. But I am going to say that the mama is eligible for the program. And I'm happy for her. They went through all her charges. I don't know where, like literally, I have no idea where the camera just stopped. So I had to go back and look. And if it's total wash, I'll throw this whole thing out and have to start over, child. Anyway. But we 16 minutes in, so y'all had to have gotten 90% of what I have said. So then we see, like I said, Chris is where I left off, where I was saying I really like Chris and I want to see Chris win as well. And we see Chris is down at the barbershop. Remember he had that whole conversation last week about wanting to become a barber, and the guy invited him to come down and told him, he was like, listen, if you show up, then I know you serious. If you don't show up, then, you know, I know what you're really trying to do with yourself. Chris is there sweeping the floors, honey, and he said, listen, it ain't glamorous, but if this is what I got to do to get to that next point, then I'm doing what I got to do. And the mom shows up, and she's proud of him, and she's like, listen, I'm so proud of you. You know, I'm glad. And she thanks the barber. She said, I appreciate you giving my son a chance. Like, you do not know how thankful I am that you are allowing him to come in and try and learn something new. And the barber was like, listen, it ain't no thing. Like, it ain't no thing, you know. And again, I'm loving it because I feel like I like Chris. I want to see Chris win. Like, I don't know this little boy personally, but even going back to that last show, I really want to see Chris win, y'all. I just do. All right, now that's the feel good. Okay, that's the feel good part of this episode. Let's get to the last 15 minutes of this shit. So they go to the Poconos. Everybody is there. They're having a good time. Corrine and her friends. Demi's there. Paulie shows up. I don't know was Chris there? I don't know if Chris was there or not, y'all. If I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I don't know. Oh no, before I get to that, let me say last but not least, the twins did meet up with their mom and the mom's new boyfriend, and they had a great conversation. The son, you know, took him outside and had the son boyfriend conversation, and basically was like, listen, you know, I love my mother. I'm here to protect my mom. You know, I just want her to be happy. She's been through a lot in her life, and, you know, you seem to make her happy. And the guy was like, I do. Like, I love her already, you know, and thank you. You know, thank you for giving me a chance. So it was cool. It was a good, like I said, that's the feel good moment. Now we get to the Poconos, and they're there. Like, they took two van loads of kids. They rented a house in the Poconos, honey, and everything is great, right? The girls are in the hot tub, and the guys show up. First thing, Paulie starts wanting to know where to put his stuff. Corrine says, listen, I'm staying with my friends. Like, I don't know where you going to put your stuff. I'm staying. And it sounds like they were having a conversation. Basically, he was trying to find out, are we sleeping together or are we not? And Corinne's thing was, we're not a couple. We're not together. We're not sleeping in the same bed. Now, she did say something along the lines of where we might end up at the end of the night. But she was like, at the end of the weekend. But she was like, listen, I'm not, like, I don't know where you gonna put your stuff. I know where my stuff is, and that's where my stuff is staying. And, like, stop trying to embarrass me. And you could tell she was starting to get embarrassed again. He's getting loud. And then he did what he always does. He started getting loud. He started being disrespectful. Started, calling her stupid and calling her this. And you just showing off for your friends. You're just showing off. You just want attention. You just want attention. So he storms off. And then they come back around. He's still mad about they're getting ready to have dinner. And Corrine is up in the room. He comes in the room and he starts back up arguing with her about where he's supposed to put his stuff. And do you understand how stupid you're making me look? Do you understand how bad you're making me look? You're trying to embarrass me. And she was like, listen, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I'm done with this conversation. And she's trying to get past him because he has her blocked. And he won't let her out the room. And then from the clip, it looked like she was pushing him first. But no, I don't want to say he was pushing her, but I think he was pushing her and she was pushing him back. But she was actually just trying to get out of the room. She was like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And what happened was she even tried to tell him, and see, this is what made me a little nervous, y'all, because I really feel like maybe their relationship has escalated to a physical situation. I really feel like maybe it has, because the cameras weren't in the room, but the cameras were outside filming into the room. And she was like, look, stop, like letting him know there was a camera there. I don't care about no camera. Fuck those cameras. I don't care. Da, da, da. And he would, like, it got to the point where production had to come and let her out the room, because she kept pushing on him. He would not let her out the room. So production had to come and let her out of the room. Yeah, I did not mean for this review to take this long. Good Lord. So production shut everything down. Like, they didn't just send him home or send her home. They shut the whole thing down, and all of them went home. And so, of course, Karen found out about what it was. And Karen told Corinne, like, look, that's it. That's all. We're done. You're done with him. She said, and if you want to keep going back and forth with him, you are grown. But please understand, he's not welcome in my house. I don't want to talk to him anymore. I don't want to deal with him anymore. He is disrespectful, and he's not going to keep, like, he's out of line, and I'm not going to do it. And she told her, she said, listen, and you know how your grandfather is. Like, your grandfather get wind that this boy is treating you the way he's treating you. You know it's going to be a whole nother set of problems. She said, I think part of the problem is that y'all are in the same friend group and y'all can't really get away from each other. She said, we're going back to Arizona. I'm getting you away from him. And so, of course, she was like, I don't want to go to Arizona. I don't feel like I need to go to Arizona. Karen was like, yeah, that wasn't a request. We're going to Arizona. You're going to get away from him for a while. We're going to reset. We're going to, you're going to try to get all of this out your system. And so, honey, they going to Arizona. Child, listen, Karen, you better get that girl away from that boy. I don't care how long y'all known each other. I don't care how well the families know each other. I don't care whether he a good kid, bad kid. That little boy has a problem. And if he hasn't already put his hands on your child, he will if they keep going back and forth. He is already mentally abusive to your child. He is mentally abusive to Corrine. And if he has not already put his hands on her, he will. And that is that. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.